cuties, it's your local Mandarin, and today it is finally time for me to do my little makeup tutorial. People have been asking. I've definitely switched up how I do my makeup. I wasn't really into makeup for ages. You may have remembered me saying that, but like over time I kind of got more and more into it. So today I'm going to go through like everything I do, because everything I do kind of has like a little like reason behind it. Just make like a really thorough makeup tutorial for you. First I want to tell you actually how I do my hair, because people have been asking for me to do like a little sock curl tutorial, but it's actually so easy that I feel like it doesn't even like really need a tutorial. So I filmed myself doing this last night. I want to say that I'm only talking about how I do my hair because I have a very specific hair type. It's like naturally curly, but the curls are kind of turning into waves, especially as I bleached it. So it's like damaged curls is like my very specific hair type. Trust me, when I was a kid I had like ringlety curls, like really big like rings. So it's like a very specific hair type of like loosened curls, like chemically loosened curls. So I feel like my hair is like especially porous, and obviously because of the bleach it's also damaged. So my hair, if you use any kind of heat on it, like if I straighten it, whatever, it does not stay straight. Like it frizzes up so quickly. For some reason when they do it at the salon it stays. I think it's because they do it so much better than I do. The point is, the best way for me to style my hair is to wet it ever so slightly and then hold it in shape and then let it dry in that shape. That's like how I style my hair for like anything. So for this style as well, what I do is I take a small amount of gel, like just like a little bit, tiny bit of gel, and then I wet my hand, like I just go like literally just like that, and then I rub it between my fingers and then I use that to cover the hair. It's really important that you make it just ever so slightly damp but not actually wet. It needs to be that level where you feel like it's gonna dry up in like 2 seconds. And then I give a little bit of special attention just to the ends, because obviously my hair is damaged, so the ends is where that's shown the most. So I need that to be like smoothened out as much as possible. So that's like the backstory of like how I tend to style my hair. So how I do this style is I separate my bangs so that they're not like in the way. My bangs are kind of short, so they can't be styled in this way, but if you have like face framing bangs, then you can totally just put them all in. I take this Heatless hair roller thingy that I have. I actually don't know what it's called, but I think if you just look up like Heatless hair roller, you'll find probably the exact same one. I use the tiniest amount of gel and I just wet my hand like slightly, like I go like this, and then I like rub it all together, and then I put that into my hair, and then I roll it towards my face just for the front pieces. You can also add like an extra one in the middle, but if you did that you would have to do it before you did the front one, which is something that I forgot, because I was gonna do that and then I just forgot to do it until I'd already done this one. And then you'll have like 2 little donuts on top here, and they don't really affect your sleep because I sleep on the side. Then I kind of just separate the rest of my hair into 2, and I wet it again just ever so slightly with the gel. I clip a sock, it can be literally any sock that you have, to the top of my head, and then I roll it away from my face. I kind of just twist it into the sock away from my face. And then again I give special attention to the ends to make them a little bit more smoothened down. Kind of just tie it at the bottom, and then I can completely sleep on it, like it doesn't bother me at all. Some people like braid it, like they do the front and then the back. I've tried that. I don't really care enough. Like, do you know what I mean? Like it looks good enough. Like the whole point of it is for it to be like quick and easy, and the more complicated I make it, the more I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. I think it helps my hair look more healthy because it kind of clumps it together. I feel like curls tend to look more healthy if they're in bigger clumps. So now that I'm here like doing my makeup and stuff, I'm gonna separate the sock a little bit, like I'm gonna loosen it out just to give the ends enough time to make sure that they are fully dried. You really, like if you have a hair type like mine, you cannot style it like this and then like loosen out the curls while it's still a little bit damp. You're setting yourself up for failure. It's just not going to work. So I kind of release them in stages. So the first stage is just loosening the sock like this. Also, I want to apologize if at any point today I'm a little bit like shaky. I am just a little bit like hyped up and excited. I tend to get like that. I had a DHL package come just before and had like a bunch of samples, and like I really hyped myself up. So don't worry if you see my hands are a little bit shaky. It's the ADHD. I'm all good. Because I always get comments like that. I have my shaky phases. Next, I want to talk about the foundation for my skin. Now, I don't mean like actual foundation. I mean like the skincare before I put makeup on, because it's actually so important as well. Especially I have really dry skin. So I use this one. It's the Gokujin Premium Hada Labo Moisturizer, and it has hyaluronic acid. And it's this kind of like liquidy one. You can see I kind of actually already ran out of most of it. And I put several layers of this on my skin. If I'm like really in a rush, I'll just do like 2 layers, but really 3, 4, 5, just to really have that sink into my skin. So I do one, let it sink in, do another, let it sink in. I don't know if you have a different skin type if it'll do that, but mine, like, it drinks it up. I think it helps with like fine lines, especially around the mouth. I have some fine lines. Then after I've done all the layers of this, I go on top of that with a little bit of a heavier moisturizer. Now I actually ran out of the one I use. I tend to use the Curel one, so I don't have it for you. I just use like a random one, but honestly it can just be like whatever like thicker moisturizer that you like. This might be too much for some people, but if I don't lock this in with like a thicker moisturizer, it just like goes. And then for my sunscreen, I use this Can Make Mermaid Skin Gel UV. I really like it because it actually doubles up as a makeup primer. Make sure that you bring all of your skincare down to your neck as well, and if you're going to be in the sun as well, like your décolletage. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. And also make sure that between each layer, like every time you add a different product, that you give your skin time, because if it's still like on your skin, it might start doing that thing where it like pills up. Can't have that happening. Cannot have that happening. So now that I've gotten all that out the way, let's get into the makeup itself. So for foundation, I've been using this Laneige cushion foundation for ages, but then recently my friend Chrissy gave me this Cell Fusion C BB Skin Blemish Balm Intensive. I think she just got like the medium tone. So I've been trying this out and I've actually been really liking it as well. I will say if I'm really in a rush, I will skip this entirely. I would say my makeup itself takes around 20 minutes and my skincare takes like 10 minutes, 15 minutes maybe. And then my hair takes like another 15 minutes. So you can see like it kind of adds up. But my makeup itself doesn't actually take that long if I'm like in a rush. I will skip the base makeup. I'll just go straight to concealer. I'm using this like little thing that it came with, and then it also came with like this thing. It's so hard for me to do this when I'm not where I usually do my makeup, because I always have like the mirror where I'm used to doing it. Okay, wish me luck. If it's worse than usual, then it's just because I can't see myself. I do have this as well, so it's just hard to like do things with so many hands and then also hold up a mirror and then also be trying to make sure the camera can see what I'm doing. So I kind of just attach it like that, and then I dab it like that just so it's a little bit more like evenly on this. And then I just go in. I really focus it on parts of my face that don't crease too much first, like these cheeks and stuff, and then I blend it into the parts that crease more. I do put it on like my eyes and stuff. I forgot to mention, but you have to put lip balm on like every time you brush your teeth if your skin like mine. You have to really make sure you get it into the creases of your nose. That's so important. I have a little bit of redness there, but not so much that it needs color correction, but color correction is also really good. Like if you have that, you can use some green. I feel like this shade is definitely a touch too light for me. Maybe if I got it again, I would get it in a darker shade, but I will say that once the makeup comes together, it's not that noticeable. I'm not gonna waste perfectly good makeup. You really want to make sure you pat it all in and blend it out well. One thing I will say I really like about cushion foundations is that they're so much easier. Like you just kind of go and then you just apply it all over. Then I use this Jill Stewart concealer. My friend recommended it to me, and it's super old and it's like completely run out. Like I actually really need to get a new one. I don't even know what shade it is. Maybe it says 2. I feel like most of my face is already pretty well covered, but I do under the eyes and then I do like the sides of my temples. That's what they're called. So I feel like it dries down easily. I know people say you should let concealer dry down, but if I let it dry down, then it just ends up staying as like a streak. So I just do like one eye at a time basically. So I'll just do like this, like apply like that, about that much. It's enough, and then I go straight in with this. I'm not sure if you can see the difference. I never used to do my temples, and then I went to Korea and I got my makeup done there and they did my temples, and then I was like, oh, I guess I should be doing my temples. But I don't do a lot. I really don't use too much base makeup because then it's gonna like crease and pool into your creases, which I really don't like. Which the next step actually is to go into places that would crease, like your eye here, and just make sure you get rid of all of this before you powder anything down. I just kind of go over it with my ring finger because otherwise you're going to set those creases and they're not going to go away. Then I go in with powder. I know a lot of people don't powder. I have to powder because I have a really shiny face. I have a dry face, but I have a shiny face. I don't know how that works. I use this Innisfree No Sebum powder. I feel like it's like a classic, but my friend recently recommended the Jill Stewart powder. So next time I'm going to try that. Maybe when I go to refill my concealer. I don't know why, but for my under eyes, I need to powder it with this kind of small fluffy brush, otherwise it will crease and this stops it from creasing. I don't know how that works. Cut off any excess. And then I go into it with the puff. I know some people don't powder their whole face, but I do. I have to. Just get it on the back of your hand, the excess. If I really want my makeup to last, at this point I go in with a setting spray, which I might do because I feel like I used a lot of base makeup. I use this one from Tia. The logo is completely washed off now. I don't know if it's good or not, but I don't really have any issues, so it's probably fine. And then really let that dry down. I don't know if it's accurate or not, but I have this idea. I'm trying not to move my face too much, but I have this idea that if you do the foundation and then you do the powder and then you do the setting spray on top of the powder, then it kind of helps the powder melt into the foundation. You guys probably know more than me, so. Okay, so after I do my base, the next thing I tend to do is my eyebrows, and the reason for that is because I need to start styling the pieces around my face, and I can't do my eyebrows if there's like stuff on my forehead. Okay, so on the topic of my eyebrows, I actually bleached my eyebrows, and I purposely left them a little bit unbleached today because I thought it would be good to show you what they look like when they grow out a bit. This is definitely the time when I would start rethinking about bleaching. Is this focusing on my face? I'm scared. Just because I know people really worry about like if I bleach it, how's it gonna look when it grows out? This is how it looks when it grows out. Definitely you need to do eyebrows if you bleach them, unless that's your look, like just the fully bleached eyebrows. So it is a big commitment, but I was always someone who would do my eyebrows before I left the house anyways. So also I'm gonna add more lip balm because it's winter, I get so dry. But anyway, people always ask how I make my eyebrows pink. I've done a few different ways over the years. These products are so niche, so they tend to like stop making them very suddenly, so you kind of have to be on your feet all the time. I use this thing. It's called Into You. I just bought it from Amazon Japan. It's called Into You Eyebrow Mascara EBS05. But I will say another one that I bought that I quite liked was this Can Make Tokyo Smart Mini Eyebrow Color, and this is in shade 1. Interesting. It's a more natural pink. It's like a brownish beigeish pink, so if you want a more natural color, this actually might be better for you. First I go in with this and I kind of just cover it. You don't want to add too much product because it's going to make it look clumpy and you really don't want that. And then I use like an eyebrow brush, and it just came free with this like eyebrow like fake bleach thingy. I used to use this when I used to use eyeshadow to color my eyebrows, but now I just use it for like the brush. And then I go over and like make it more detailed looking with this. It's called Ink Brow and it's by Maybelline New York, and this is shade 06 color tint mascara. So let me show you how I do it. It's like this, and then I go over, not too much, just go over a little bit. And then I take the eyebrow brush and I kind of brush it out to make it cover all the hairs. And I just feel like it really matches with my hair well. And if you have like a different shade of pink, then it might not be the right product for you. It's all about just trying different things. And then this actually has two sides. It has like a pencil and then it has like a mascara side. But I find this mascara is a little bit dark for my liking, so I actually never use it. Maybe I would use it if this one stopped making. Actually, I need to remember to order a bunch of these before I post this video because otherwise I'm scared. I just use the like eyebrow pencil side and I kind of just clean up the shape of the brows. Just so it looks a bit cleaner. I go through different phases where I do different eyebrow styles, but I don't know. Today I'm just gonna go with this. And you can see the difference. For sure your eyebrows are sisters, not twins, so don't forget that. But I have like in my bathroom, the mirrors can be opened up like this and then I can kind of see my reflection and it really helps. And I don't have that here, so I hope they're not going to be too uneven. I think that's good enough. I definitely have more of like an exaggerated makeup style. Like I'm not going for natural at any point. But you can definitely do this with like any eyebrow color. It doesn't have to be pink. And even if you have pink hair, I think like brown eyebrows look really cute with pink hair as well. Okay, now that we've done the eyebrows, it's time to start working on the rest of my hair. So I'm going to release this a little bit. Yeah, it's dried perfectly well. You see it's like a little bit too bouncy. I'm gonna go over it again with some gel just to smooth it down a little bit. I always do this in like the bathroom sink because it's so much easier if you have everything, all the styling stuff in front of you. I just want to play around with it. I'm gonna go grab some gel. Try to gel it down a little. The good thing about styling your hair this way is if you have a hair like this that's just like not cooperating, you can wet it a little bit here and then just blow dry it into shape. Like I would hold it maybe like this, wet it ever so slightly, hold it like this, and then just blow dry it, and then it will stay like this. So I'm gonna go and manage these pieces in front of like the sink, and I'm also going to start doing my bangs. I use these kind of foam rollers, and I just do the exact same, like a little bit of gel, a little bit wet, and I just kind of leave it to dry. Okay, now that I've taken care of the face framing pieces, I'm gonna start taking out the sock curls. I take it out again while I'm still doing my makeup, so that I can leave it a little bit just in case anything, especially the parts that were touching the socks, are still a little bit wet, because you really don't want to loosen it while it's still wet. I will say it feels pretty dry, but just in case, you know, because you can kind of hurt the work you've done all night. So that's how it looks, but I also don't really tend to separate them too much more than that, again, because it makes it look more juicy, and so your hair looks more healthy, even if it's not. Oh my gosh, I left the pin in last night. I didn't even know I did that. I usually don't. It's not on purpose. That's crazy. So now I leave my hair like this while I continue with my makeup. It's so hot. I dressed for winter because I'm going to be going out after this. And it's really hot in here now. Do you see how my face has already started shining up? I just have a shiny face. I don't know why. I have a dry face but a shiny face. Okay, now I start to go in with the rest of my makeup. I start with this kind of size of brush. I really like this for my blush for some reason, and I use this Judy Doll palette. As you can see, I've already used up a lot of it. I go in with the lightest shade and I kind of really pack it on, and I go over my eye as well. I really center on this part like this, and then I'll go over my eye. I go through phases where I use eyeshadow, and then I go through phases where I just don't, and I just cover my lid with blush. Because in the end, like, what's the difference? It's all pink anyway. This color is the one that I go over the widest of an area with. The reason why I focus my makeup on this part is because it visually shortens your mid-face if your blush is like above your nose. I have a slightly long mid-face, so you'll find that a lot of my makeup is to kind of combat that. Not that there's anything wrong with a mid-face, just for like my style of makeup, I prefer to visually shorten a little bit so that my thirds are a little bit more balanced. But this is really where like your own face comes into this. Like, it might not be relevant for you. And I just keep going with this color. You want this to be the widest of an area because you don't want the really pink areas in the middle to look unblended, so this is kind of to make it look more blended. And I also put it on my chin. I feel like on camera you can't really see the blush as bright as I do it in person. It's one of those difficult things to balance because I want it to show up on camera but I don't want to look crazy in person. Have I walked that line very carefully? I can't say I have. Then I go in with this darker color here and I focus it a little bit more on the center, really like right under my eye. Even though I warned you guys about the creases, I totally made a crease here. I think it would have been better for me to go in with a cotton bud and just kind of cleaned it up a little bit, but I wasn't by my sink, so no biggie. I really do pack it on. I like a very blushy look, and then I also do it on my chin and on my nose. I find that the chin blush goes away really quickly, so I pack that on quite well. I do the bottom of my nose like this, and then I just really focus it on the bridge like this. Okay, we're not fully done with the blush yet, but I kind of add more a little bit later. Let's go in with, I'm going to use this lip tint by Amuse. I think it's a lip tint, but all the information's been completely removed at this point. And it's just the first step of doing my lips. Let's just go over it a little bit with like a really cool pink. I'm cool toned, but I'm also olive, and so it's really easy for makeup, especially lip colors, to look really orange on me. So I have to go with really cool pinks to kind of counterbalance that. And I find that Korean makeup has really good cool pinks. Kind of just go over it and like lightly pat out. Now let's begin with the contour. So I don't really contour much. I pretty much only contour like this area because I like the round shape of like cheeks and stuff. I'm not trying to like look snatched. I feel like I'm already a little bit snatched in terms of facial shape, so I kind of just don't feel like I need it. I've been using this Fenty stick, Fenty Match Sticks Amber Suede 09 for like years and years, and it just never runs out, so you should probably buy this. I kind of go around my nose a little bit like this, like that, and then I also go over like this, and then I use my ring finger to kind of just buff it out. You don't want to rub it because you're going to be messing with your face. You just want to like tap it like this and kind of you do want to focus your contour as well on the bottom of your nose if you want to shorten your mid face. I'm not going for an overly realistic nose contour. You can probably already tell. It's not really my style. And then I use this. This is really new to my makeup routine, but I really feel like it's leveled it up so much. And this is like my #1 thing that I really recommend you try if you have a facial shape similar to mine. So my under eyes, I haven't used like any filler or anything, just so you guys know. This area is a little bit more hollow, and so the lines of this hollowness goes down like this. But if I use this here, I can visually make the line go more like this, and in turn my cheeks look fuller. I tried this with many different shades, and I find that the best is this kind of warm-ish tone, because you want it to look a little bit sun-kissed. You don't want it to look too much of like an ashy kind of brown, because it can kind of make you look a little bit like a zombie. I don't know how to describe it, but I kind of just dip in like this, and then I tap off any excess. And then you really don't want to do this too much, because a little goes a long way. I kind of just go like this. So now instead of going down like this, the contour makes it more like this, you know? So that's what I'm trying to accomplish. And then with the excess, I go in a little bit like this as well, just to blend it all together. It's hard to say what can show on camera, it's so difficult. And then I kind of just do the same on the other side. And then I also go over like this. And then I also do my lip like this. Just a little bit. You don't want to do too much, because it can look like a mustache if you do too much. Oh, and I forgot to say, this is the Can Make shading powder in 01. So I kind of just visually plump my cheeks in this way. And then I use this Flower Nose blush. This is my favorite blush ever, and everything has been rubbed off. I'm so sorry. But in general, I feel like you really can't go wrong with these very, very bright, like flower nose, cool toned blushes. They're so pigmented. So I go in like this, and you really don't want to like leave too much excess on. And I really go in right at the center. And then my chin. And then the nose as well. And then I'm going to go in with the highlighter that I do around my eyes. I feel like that's been also one of the biggest changes that I've made to makeup. I actually really want to shout out the creator, Nana. I feel like the way she does her makeup is like so cute, and I've taken so much inspiration, and she always answers my questions. She's so nice. So definitely check out her TikTok. She can probably do like way better tutorials for you. But one product that she recommended is this Flotte highlight powder, and I'm using the shade 02. It's like the pinkish one, but I actually don't think it makes that much of a difference. I feel like when you put them on, they actually all just look white. What it is it's a matte highlighter, and it really, really brightens the parts that you want to brighten. I use like a small fluffy brush like this, and I really go in, and then I really pack it in this shape around my eye. The thing is, if you don't really pack it in, then sometimes it can kind of separate because you didn't properly put it into your crease. So that's the reason. That has happened to me, especially in like summer. That happens a lot. It kind of goes hand in hand with this contour around the cheeks. It's definitely not a very conventional makeup style, probably in the West. I feel like it's more like Chinese makeup style, but I do it all the time, so just trying to make it the same on each side. I also feel like it visually widens your eyes a bit, which I really like. Like, it makes them look a little bit more separate, and I feel like that kind of has its own nice vibe. And then I also use this highlighter on my nose. So I use it on the tip of my nose like this. And then use it right in the center here. Okay, next I use eyeliner, but I only use a little bit. I have eyelash extensions on. Let me tell you, they're LED lashes, so they kind of cure them to your eyes. That sounds really violent, but they kind of cure the glue so that it doesn't remove as easily, and they stay on for so long, and I basically just get like as extreme as they will let me. I get 160, and I get like as much curl as they have. You can definitely use fake eyelashes. I just don't like to. It takes so much time in the morning, I feel. And also the thing about LED lashes is that it can be oil cleansed, which is really important when you remove mascara, because I put mascara on them. The eyeliner, I literally just do like the tiniest thing like this, or at least I try to do just the tiniest thing. And my trick is like, while it's still wet, you can kind of just draw the line like that. Eyeliner is not too important for this particular look. which is kind of unusual, I feel. Basically, the thicker my eyeliner, the more I messed up that morning. And then I use this Flower Nose Midsummer Fairy Tales Collection Eyebrow Palette in Apricots and Rose. I don't use this for my eyebrows. I got this randomly as like a PR thing, but I love it as like a contour palette to kind of go in with the harsher contour. So I use this like dark shade and I kind of go in with this, and I use it to do the more intense parts of my like nose contour and stuff. So I use it, actually it's too much, I'm gonna put some on my nose. I use it like this on my nose here, just on the nose bridge. And then I use it at the bottom here as well, just to kind of visually shorten my nose again. And then another thing that helps shorten the mid-face is doing this here with Filtrum, and then just like this. I kind of don't care about looking like a Whoville character, like that's kind of the vibe anyways. And then I do this on my eyes as well. I kind of do it on the bottom eye like this. Just like that, I just join it with my top liner. And then whatever's left, I kind of smile a little bit and I can see where my natural eye smiles are, and I kind of just accentuate that. And you can see. I feel like the bottom makeup is more important than the top eye makeup. Since I am going for kind of like an exaggerated look, I kind of don't care if it's like too much, you know. Okay, now I go in with Can-Make Tokyo Eye Bags Concealer. Can-Make has a lot of good stuff. I know it's like a budget brand, but they have a lot of good stuff. And I kind of just go over like the parts that I want to make look puffy. And then I want to continue on with my lips. So we're going to take this. This is Daisy's Souffle Colourpot, and this is 09. They gave me one of these for free when I went to Korea. It was crazy because I bought one and they were like, one of them is free. Oh, that's crazy. And it's like a little pot like this. And it's like a souffle. And I use it to contour my lips. Like line my lips. You can see. And I really focus my lips on the center. I had a lot of people ask when I started doing this if I was injecting my lips. But I'm really just like focusing on making them look more plump this way, but not longer. I think also that helps with the mid-face. And I just kind of use my finger to buff it out. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with this Can-Make Dame Mania in the shade 02. It's this glittery eyeshadow and it's really, really sparkly. I really like it. And I just go in with my finger, I just do it like this. And I go over my eye. I feel like it's such a pretty glitter. And then I also go over my nose like this, the tip of it. And then I also just do like my cheeks a little bit, just add a little bit of like glitter. I don't actually know if you can see this, but I do. Okay, and then I go in with this here. What is this? It's by Lily Tone. Basically, it doesn't even really matter what you use, but it's this kind of like glittery liquid gel kind of product, and you want to put it on your eyes. But I'm telling you, if you have creases on your eye bag like I do, you want to just apply it above the crease. You don't want it to go everywhere. You really want to go very light with this, just like above any creases that you have. And you don't want to move your eyes until this is dried down. Otherwise it's going to go everywhere. It's going to look messy. And then I also add like a little bit to the tip of my nose. I'm going to let that dry down. Still letting it dry down a little bit. But next I go in with this Can-Make Creamy Touch Liner in 02. And I make kind of fake freckles around here. But the point isn't really for it to look like freckles. It kind of just makes this part look more 3D. This eyeliner is famous because it really has a lot of pigmentation and it doesn't come off easily, so I think it's a really good, it's like a creamy liner. And I kind of go over like this, just like a little bit. And if you make a mistake, you can just go in with like a cotton bud and you can just remove it. And I do a little bit on like the other parts of my nose too. I don't always, but sometimes I do. But the main is like this part. Just like that. I really don't know what you guys can see. I really hope everything is being shown properly. And then I'm going to go in with my setting spray again. You really don't want to do your mascara after your setting spray because it wets your mascara and then it gets onto your lid. So we do this first. I'm gonna continue with my lips. I'm gonna use this really berry pink kind of color. It's by Sticker and it's in the shade 02 Berry More. It's All My Things, but I think this one might have been a limited edition one, but like any kind of this tone, I think Daisy, because there are a few good ones. It's really like it stays on your lips, so you don't want to apply too much, just like a little bit. And again, just really focus on the center of the lips. And then I'm going in with a glittery gloss. This is called Glaze Pump by Etude 02 Violet Quartz. And again, I also just focus this on the center of my lips. Okay, let's do the mascara. I use this Hair and Make one. I don't recommend using this if you don't also get the same remover. And again, that's why it's important that I get the LED lashes when I do my extension. I use the mascara to clump my lashes together, and I would argue that the bottom lashes are actually more important than the top lashes. I'm starving. I'm so glad I'm going to get food after this. So you just do it like this and then clump it together. I just use the wand. I know some people use like tweezers. I just think that works fine like this. And also it doesn't have to be like all fully clumped together. I have a few like random squeeze left out as well. Like that. And then I'm gonna put it again into the bottom lashes. And just clump it together as well in the exact same way that I did the top lashes. I kind of just do it like this. If anything gets on your hair bag, you can just use like a comb. You can see the difference. I'm going to do this eye. And then the final touch is the setting powder again. This is so important. I use like a fluffy brush and I go under the lashes and cover just the tips with powder so that it doesn't get onto your face. Like if you find that you have like little black dots. I swear this stopped it from happening to me completely. So this is my little tip for you. It doesn't matter if you can see it. It'll go right in there. I'm going to use the excess to get rid of this shiny forehead area. Okay, makeup is pretty much done. Let's release the hair. And then we're going to kind of separate these parts of it. So it's not so crazy looking. And then these curls as well, we separate just a little bit, but I don't really like to separate them too much. I like them looking rather clumped up. You see how bouncy they look? I like that. I'm gonna go sort out my bangs in the mirror again. I'm just gonna kind of fluff them out a bit, and I'm gonna add some oil to my hair, and then I'm pretty much ready. And then I might put something in my hair, I'll see, because I feel like I never feel ready unless there's something in my hair. I'm gonna go in with this little triangle head thingy. I don't know what that's called. You guys already know that this is handmade by my friend Etzna. Let's just move these back a bit like that. We are working on making things like this with Vanilla Valley since Etzna joined as an accessory designer. I go in front of the ears, but you can definitely do behind the ears as well. I can't leave this around Teddy because he loves these. And then I always go in with like a clip to hold it in place. It doesn't really matter where, just anywhere. And that's it for my little tutorial. I hope it was helpful. Definitely let me know down below if you have any questions. Yeah, I've been really liking how I do my hair and makeup lately, so I'm really happy to hear that you guys like it as well. I've been getting so many really nice comments. Really always appreciate it so much. You guys are like so nice to me and I really appreciate that. I feel like I have like the best community ever, and so I just want to thank you guys. I feel like this makeup look would definitely look better if I had circle lenses on. I've considered doing it for the video and then I was like, that's like kind of fake. Like I'd be lying to you guys because I hate wearing them. They dry out my eyes, but I kind of still want to try to wear them. Like I want to try to get into them. I have a bunch, so maybe in the future. Thank you guys ever so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe,